Woo! What up, guys? LaFi coming high. Your hostess with the mostest, Mr. Johnson here. And I know you're excited because last week we laid out a rafter and you were like, woo! And this week we're going to learn how to lay out a truss, which is like, woo, woo! All right. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you were able to relax, be thankful. Um, Make sure that you understand the reason for the season coming up. And without further ado, let's get started. Woo. All right. So last time, y'all, we laid out a rafter, and we had to remember before we get started, quick review. I hope you remember this. Skinny, fat, get in my belly. Now, if you don't remember anything else, skinny, fat, get in my belly. You can't do your trust right. You can't trust and obey without doing skinny, fat, get in my belly. The first part of the trust is very similar to your rafter, in that you're going to follow the similar steps. You're going to learn to lay out a rafter. 6 steps to lay it out. First, you're going to take the true 2 inches. That's right, the true 2 inches. All right, then we're going to make a work line. We're going to go all the way across. A true 2 inches. Now, you need a dad joke while I'm drawing this line? Yeah, Mr. Johnson. All right, great. What do you call a goat that loves martial arts? A goat that loves martial arts. The Karate Kid! Ha ha! Okay. Enough jokes. Ha ha. Good stuff. All right. So, we're going to make our work line using this true 2 inches. Now, guys, I got a super Sharpie. This Sharpie is not idealistic for making this. I made this Sharpie for the video to see, okay? But in a real world, guys, we're going to use a pencil, all right? Then we're going to make a ridge cut, or a ridge line. We're going to use similar to what we did last time. We're going to use, let's say, 6/12 pitch. We're going to use, I don't know, 10-inch overhang, okay, or horizontal projectile, all right? And let's go with a 6-foot span. So 6/12 pitch, 6-foot span, 10-inch overhang, all right? Then, once we draw our work line, the second step is to do on our ridge line. Skinny, fat, get in my belly, all right? I'm going to use the outside numbers every time. I'm going to use that skinny 6, that fat 12, all right? Skinny, fat, get in my belly, all right? I'm going to put it right there. That's my ridge line. I'm going to try to avoid making my ridge line where there's a lot of knots and things of that nature. Woo! And then I got to figure out my rafter length, okay? So we got a 6/12 pitch, and I look over here at this very nice new frame square, Home Depot, 12 bucks. All right, I check it out right there, and I look under that 6, and I see 13.42. And if I got a 6-foot span, I'm going to use what's called the run, or half of that, which is 3. All right, 13.42 times 3 gives me 40.26. Wow, Mr. Johnson, you are a mathematical genius. Thank you. Just call me Mr. Bowers Squared. Now, once you do that, y'all, that 0.26 is not on a tape measure, but it's really, really close to 0.25, so we're going to measure out 40 1/4. Now, ideally, we're going to use our spring joint ruler, but since we are filming this, I know we need to do a little speed first. I don't want to bore you too much. So go 40 1/4. And then do skinny, fat, get in my belly. I'm going to mark what's called the seat. Put that fat 12 on my 40 1/4. Put that skinny 6 on my work line. All right. Then I'm going to do the slide to the left. Slide to the left. All right. Put that skinny 6 on 40 1/4. Fat 12. Yank on it. All right. Then I'm going to do my last step, my overhang, the horizontal projectile. We're going to go reverse, 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 reverse. All right. In this case, I've got a 10. I'm going to make sure my 10 is parallel to that 40 1/4 on my seat line. All right. And we'll draw me a line on the other side. Okay. So I've laid out one run. All right, or one rafter board. Now, right here, I'm going to do something new. We'll make me a line, my line 2 cut. On my bird's mouth, I'm going to put 2 X's. What that means is, do not cut. No, 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 not in my house. Right? But we're going to use this. Let me get up here close and personal. Ooh, really nice. You see this line? You can tell I played guitar in college. Okay. This line where this finger's at, that means to cut. Well, there it is. Where my fingers are right below right here, these X's, that means do not cut. But we're going to use our bird's mouth to line up our spinning. Okay. Now, in class, you'll lay 2 of those out. You'll cut 2 of them like so. And then we'll come over here to the next board. We're going to make what's called the span board. All right. And this one we are going to need to take. Brings on rulers, where it's at, okay? However, if you got a buddy, tape measure, that's where it's at, okay? But if you're doing this by yourself, hopefully we get to that point where you can do this by yourself, okay? Now, a screen joint ruler, y'all, is 72 inches or 6 foot, a true 6 foot, all right? So I'm going to lay that out and put that to the side. Now, here's where my frame square gets a little complicated. This is where I lose most of a lot of people. Skinny, fat, in my belly. All right. This time I'm going to come up here at the top. All right. I'll lay out 12 and 6. 12 and 6. This board is kind of cut a little bit. 12 and 6. Let me grab my Sharpie. All right, 12 and 6. Now, this line, as you can see, you'll see that? All right, that's a lot longer than the rest of them, okay? These 2 are going to be your hardest cuts in making this truss, all right? Because they take a lot of, how it works. It's going to have to use a little practice on that circular, that power saw, all right? But through hard work and determination, that's right, hard work and determination, you can get it done. All right. Now, once I get up there at the top, I got 72 inches. Oh, I'm going to grab my Sharpie. Mark it right there. All right. 72 inches, that represents 6 foot or my 6 foot span. Now, we're going to be having 2x4, and they're going to be 8 foot long in class. Give me my ruler back. All right. And so if I give you an 8 foot span in class, basically what that means, y'all, is use the whole board. Now, here comes the tricky part. Skinny, fat, in my belly. Oh, Mr. Johnson, no you didn't. Yes, I did. We're going to call it the Turner Dairy check mark, that quality check mark. And I'm going to use my outside numbers every single time. Every single time. Outside numbers. Outside 12, outside 6. All right. That's how I make my second cut. All right. Let's check it out. One line. Yes, I am a professional photographer. 2 lines. Okay. You'll cut there. This will be your span board. Now, the last part, y'all, is what connects it all together. Connect the dots. La, la, la. Now, what I find most people do is they hate this part, okay? And the reason why is because it involves the most math, right? Now, I'd like to introduce you to a new friend of mine. He's called a triangle. All right, some people call him square day speed. I'm cool with it, whatever, okay? Now, instead of making a true 2 inches, this time we're going to split the 2x4 directly in half. Now, when I throw this tape measure or speed square up there, notice that it's 3.5. All right, I'm going to use 1 3/4. I'm going to make me some marks straight down the aisle. All right, I don't have to be this deliberate. You can do something along this line, come a little bit, go. All right, so I'm going to make a new work line. I'm not use the true 2 inches, but I'm going to use 1 3/4. Okay, it splits my board like so, all the way. All right. right? Then, skinny, fat, good in my belly. Oh, Mr. Johnson, what's the length? Good question. If my span is 6, my run, which is considered half of that, is 3. All right, and I'm going to multiply it times something. Y'all remember that pitch number? That's right. All right. So 3 times 6, that gives me 18 inches. Then I'm going to subtract the width of the 2x4, which is 3.5. So 18 minus 3.5, which gives me 14.5 inches. Now, when you throw that fraction up, everybody in this shop, and this goes from the time I've been here till now, they go, "Rah!" All right, and it's okay. All right. What it takes is just knowing the situation, know how to handle it, okay, and don't stress out about math. Math can be a really good friend of yours if you let it allow yourself to learn a little something. So I'm going to use my work line. I'm going to put that 6, 12. 6, 12. All right. Then, if I come over here to the other side and do the same thing, 6 and 12 is going to be much longer. So hit that turn area again. 6, 12. Blah, 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 blah. All right. And look, guys, this brain square can get real complicated, real scary if you let it. All right. But don't let it, guys. All right. It can be a baller. Okay. And if you can get on a job site and you know how to run a square, you know how to do a little bit of this math, and more importantly, you know how to run a saw, swing a hammer, swing a nail gun, and most importantly, show up on time, you're going to really like your chances of keeping a really good job. Last thing we do, y'all, we get over here, we measure 14.5 from that peak. All right. I don't know why I keep closing my square champions here. All right. 14.5. I get it right there. Close that right there. And voila. Check it out. This is what's going to join everything together. Okay. Pretty cool? Oh, yeah, Mr. Johnson. That was like the coolest thing ever. Well, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Woo! Any questions? Follow me on Twitter at JJFFA. Woo!